Hey, are you slightly overwhelmed by AI? Like everything seems to be like, well, just AI it, just chat GPT it, just use Claude, and it's like, that's great, but is it going to help me be more productive? Hey, my name is Jeff Harris. I own a company called Swing Point Media, and we are an AI first digital marketing agency. And we have been for about the last 16 years, going in 16 years. But the last 5 years, we've really leaned into AI. And one of the things I want to talk about today is I just got off a Zoom call with one of my clients. And I just want to share with you how AI helps them, allowing me to use AI to expedite something they need. Now, this particular company, they do some live and in-person trainings, and they also have a company that they deal with a certain group of individuals, just like everybody that's a business. We always deal with a certain group of people. But what I wanted to show you is while we were talking on the phone, they were saying, well, I'm thinking about having this sign-up page, and we need a QR code, and so I said, well, tell me what you want the QR code to do. And they said, well, we want to have it, the QR code, so somebody could scan it, and then they sign up for one of two items. So we need a landing page. So I thought, well, okay. I said, well, let me see if I can very quickly, using a tool that I have, create a landing page. Now, I just want to share this with you because I think it's important. It's not just about me. And by the way, here's the thing. I am not selling a tool. I am not promoting a tool. I'm just promoting, if you know the tools are out there and you can manipulate it, if you will. I don't know if manipulate's a bad word, but you can now communicate with it in such a way you can get some amazing results in a very short period of time. So I just want to put on the screen, this is what we have. So the name of the company is Inheriting Wisdom. I think they'll be okay with this. But what I did is I asked a question. I said, hey, create a polished one-page landing page mock-up of an HTML. And basically I said, create this so that we can have a sign-up page. Now, while they were talking, I typed this in and asked it to create a landing page that then I could show them this. And basically, it does exactly what they were looking for. So they were looking for a page where they said, okay, we want to have a couple of check boxes. We want to get their full name, email address, and an optional phone number. So we did all that. Let me just pull it over so you can see it. I guess you can see it. So it has it. And again, it's nothing fancy. The whole idea was just to say, this is how I can leverage AI to get something done very rapidly and really kind of take my imagination and turn it into reality. So while we're on the phone, this whole process of putting this landing page together took literally, maybe 4 or 5 minutes. And then I said, well, let me share it with you. They said, oh, this is exactly what we're looking for. So they're going to have a breakfast where they're going to discuss the complexities of the modern family. And then we also said, hey, we want to have some people that will participate and interview. So I said, okay, and be interviewed. So I said, okay, there it is. So I sent it to them. They said, oh, that's great. We love that. We like how this worked out. So then they're talking more and they're saying, well, okay, well, now we're thinking about sending out an email and we'd like to have a one-page flyer. So I said, well, I can probably do that. So let me just go back to my tool and I'll say, well, let's go back and let me just pull this up real quick. And I say, all right, so I'm back in that. And I said, all right, well, let me do this. Let me make a family mock-up of a promotional flyer. Let me pull that up now. And again, the whole idea of this is I'm not promoting any particular product. I'm using a product right now called GenSpark. And the reason I like GenSpark, and again, I'm not promoting it, the reason I like it is because it's agnostic, meaning it doesn't care. It's not ChatGPT, it's not Claude, it's using the best of the best. So I can use any of that. But what I did is I said, all right, let's put in the next one. So I said, all right, let's put together a polished promotional asset, because they said, hey, we want to be able to send this over to the group that we're presenting to get approval. I said, okay, so great. So I said, let's put together a promotional toolkit. So again, I prompted it in there. It wrote the code. It spit it out. And now I have a professional promotional toolkit that has, hey, here's an email with a subject line. Oh, by the way, now I took this one step further. They sent me more of a information about this event. And so I went to that link. I put the link in here. As you can see, I put a URL in here, and it said, okay, well, I'm going to go deep diving into that. So I totally understand it. So in other words, it gave it more context of exactly what it is. So when it created this subject line, this is exactly what it is: navigating the modern family, join the conversation. While I'm doing this, the people on the phone, one of the gentlemen on the phone said almost this exact phrase, word for word, of what they're wanting. And then it puts together an email address. And here's our two options. One is joining for the breakfast, or individually participate in an interview, which is exactly what they were looking for. So it's really kind of cool. And then now this is only a mocked up version. So if you click that, it doesn't take you anywhere, but this gives us an opportunity to say, hey, what would this look like? I want to point this out, that typically what this would take, it could take a couple of days for us to do it in the old non-AI world, because we'd have to get some information from. I'd have to do some research. I'd have to write the email. I'd have to send it to them. They'd have to approve it, or they'd change it. And then I'd get to this point. This again probably took less than 4 or 5 minutes. The whole call that I had with them was less than a half an hour. And the reason I'm stressing this so much is because I want you to realize, when we work side by side with the tool, it's like taking a hammer and saying the hammer by itself can't do anything. But if you know how to build something, the hammer becomes a great tool to do that. I think when it comes to AI, the same thing applies. So the first thing it did is it created an email invitation. They loved it. All right. The next one was a one-page handout. So when they're doing this live event, right, they can actually have this handout, and then people can choose which events they want to go to. And then they scan that QR code. It takes them right to that landing page that I showed you before. They get signed up. Boom, it's done. Now we'll take this and hook it up to their CRM. So we get their names and email addresses and do a follow-up. But this is how quickly this was done. In the past, like I said, this would take hours or days to get done, mainly because of the back and forth. This was all done in their hands, in their email inboxes, before the call was over, in less than a half an hour. So the one thing I just wanted to point out was leveraging AI to make your business more efficient and effective, and actually the speed at which it worked it's just incredible today. And so as a digital marketing company, these are not things that are just available only to me. GenSpark is available for anyone. And you can go in there and you can say, hey, I want to create what I call a hub. And I would put like Swing Point Media. So I had all kinds of information in there about my company or your company, whatever it be. And then when I have a conversation, I'm having a conversation specifically about that company. And it has context. So anything it's making, it will spit it out in that fashion, which makes what we do, well, quite frankly, faster and easier. And the product, the outcome is amazing. I've used this for so many things, whether it's for this client, I put together this cool landing page. So she said, hey, I want to make this landing page. And I said, okay. So while she was literally on the phone, I took it and put together this landing page for her. I grabbed the HTML and I put it on our website. Like if you went to our website right now, you could go to executiveerrands.com and you could look for this particular thing. It's there. And it was done in seconds. All the design, all the buttons worked. Everything is there. These are things that, again, would take a lot of time. And this page, you could expect to spend anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 to have this page made. I did it with communicating. I was just talking to the AI and it had all the information they need in there. And so it tells us exactly how it was put together. She absolutely loved it. We took that HTML project because it was WordPress. So we take that, we grab the code, we put it on our website. It's live. So it went from idea to approved to live literally in less than an hour. These are the things that are happening with AI. Again, it's not replacing a job. It's working alongside it and saying, hey, what can we create if I ask it for questions? And if you don't know what questions to ask, just tell them what you're trying to achieve. I want X, Y, and Z. What do you need from me to help me get there? So there's no limit, whether it's images, it's landing pages, it's QR codes, whatever it might be, emails, it's all there. So I just want to jump on today. I hope this was helpful. This was just one of those things I said, hey, I'm going to jump on because it was such a kind of a mind-blowing. I think, after doing this for 5 years with AI, every day it still kind of wows me of like what we can produce with the use of some of these tools, whether it's this one, in this case, GenSpark, or it's using automation tools like Make or N8N or, Cursor to build websites. It just is amazing. So if you like this, I really appreciate it. Give me a like and a thumbs up, and also give me a comment. I really appreciate it. You stopping by. Unscheduled, I just decided, hey, I don't want to promote tools. I want to promote the fact that, this is that hammer. And if you learn how to use the hammer, or you bring the skills to the hammer, you can create some pretty amazing outcomes. So again, thanks for joining. My name is Jeff Harris. I own a company called Swing Point Media. We're here in the Coachella Valley. If you're not sure where that's at, that's in Palm Springs, California, the Southern California area. And this is something we do. I think we're probably one of the leaders, if you will, in AI marketing. That's what we do. And I just want to say thank you for joining us. I'm going to try to do this more often and just pop on here and say, hey, here's some tool that I bent to use or to give me what I'm looking for. I'd like to, on the next one, I want to show you how we're using prompts, and I'm going to call natural language, to create some amazing videos using a product called HeyGen. Until then, hey, have a great day. It's Wednesday, and enjoy your